Okay.
Egbon is typing. Okay, well, someone is typing. Anyway, we are live.
Oh. Good evening, good afternoon, and good day, everyone, wherever you're joining us from. We just want to say hello. Hope you're doing okay. Happy Friday. It's good. Thank God it's Friday, like we say. Now you're welcome to our number one show, the Nigeria We Want. Joining me tonight is Mr. Wale Olaito. Welcome to the show, Mr. Wale Olaito.
Thank you, Dr. Vicky Mifolaji. It's good to be back on our number one show, the Nigeria We Want, popularly known as Nigeria We Want.
We want exactly because yeah, we know what we want and we're just hoping and praying for it. So tonight we're talking about we're going Nollywood actually. So
Okay.
we're dealing with some stuff to do with Nollywood and the actors and the actresses. So that's the title for today's show. But let's talk about how the week has been for you. How was your week?
Yeah, it's been very busy, you know. My week started on on a celebratory note.
Oh yeah.
On Sun
Happy
on
birthday.
Sun.
Sorry. Happy birthday. Happy
Thank
birthday.
thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Thank you, Dr. Vicky. So it started on a celebratory note on the
Mm.
15th of October, my birthday. So I turned 49 and I made a post about it, and I chose to make my age known. Because like, as you know, as you get older, you meet people in different walks of life.
Exactly.
There are people in my life that we grew up together. I don't need to tell them anything. We know who was born so date, so we joke among ourselves. Someone is 2 months older than you, that will still call you my aburo. Someone that you
Exactly.
are 6 months older than, that you will still joke you are my aburo. So, but
Mm.
later in life, as we move and we establish ourselves again,
Mm.
as adults, in that journey, you meet people. And I just found out that recently, just recent conversation, casual conversations that has been usually around casually with people that I know, mostly around here, and maybe some other friends outside Australia that, friends that, we became friends later in life. So I just realized that casually people, there'll be discussions around age, when is your next 50th or whatever. Yes, so I just thought, look, it's my 49th. It's been a very wonderful time in my 40s. This will be the last leg,
Of
you know,
course.
on the fourth
On
floor
the fourth floor. We're
before I move
moving on to the fifth.
to the fifth floor with the big boys and big girls.
Yeah.
So, I just thought, look, let me just put it out there that, I'm
Mm.
49. And yes, so it was well received with a lot of prayers, best
Mm.
wishes, phone calls, gifts. So, yeah, I think that was really the hallmark of my week. We did that with my family and friends, and even at work. Was it on Thursday? So, so friends and colleagues, they still brought cakes, and then we had lunch together. Yes, it has been a very important week for me, and it has been a very big
Mm.
celebration. And as you know, October is always very busy in my family.
Totally.
My
Mm.
middle daughter, Timmy, you know,
Yeah. A
um,
birthday too.
it was on
Yeah.
the 14th of October, and
Mm.
then my big girl, Dami, yesterday was our birthday. So we got 14, 15, and 18 October. So it's always
Busy
a
period.
busy
Yeah.
period. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Mm. Wow. So, from all of us on the Nigeria We Want show, we want to wish you many, 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 many happy, joyous years to come in good health and
Amen.
abundance.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Amen.
Because
Amen. Thank you.
you deserve it, my brother.
Well,
You
thank
deserve
you.
it. Mm. So, yeah, what is trending for you?
Um, aside from my birthday, and what else is trending? I'll follow up a few issues online globally, unless we are living in the cave. That one will not be aware that the war going on in between Israel Palestinians in Gaza, that we pray for world peace. We pray,
Mm,
you know, um, for both sides to, to be very careful and to just respect humanity. There are
mm,
casualties on both sides,
yeah.
from Israeli side, civilians casualties, and also on the Palestinian side. So we just hope that diplomacy will prevail, and
Mm,
some of these
can be
issues can still
resolved.
be resolved
Mm,
amicably without resorting to resort to further violence and loss of lives. Yes, so
yeah.
I will just stop at that in terms of what is trending for me.
Mm. On my part, I haven't been really following up much because of work. I've just gotten so busy, and I was supposed to be in Israel next week. It was all planned, girls' trip away. Unfortunately, because of the war, I we had to change the plan. So we'll be going to other places now because they're not returning, refunding us. So we had to make new plans. So I've been so busy with all the arrangements.
Uh,
So I really don't know much. I spent the eh, the the first part of the week trying to follow up the Israel Palestinian war to see is it still possible? Is it not? Is it still possible? So checking out and just checking
okay.
the news constantly. Then I realized that why am I putting myself under under this pressure, um, pressure and anxiety induced thing, checking out the news and oh they bombed this, oh they've done this, they've done this. No, 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 no. No. It's supposed to be just a time away, a retreat, a relaxing time. Now, if I start doing this, by the time I even get there, all my tummy and everything will be so strained from this pressure that I've already started putting it. So I had to decide now. So I
Yeah.
said to the girls that we're going together that girls, we've got to make new plans. We can't do this. We can't put ourselves under this kind of pressure. People are living there. We want to go for what? So we make
Yeah.
new changes. So that got me apart from work because I still had to get everything done before I go to make sure my tables are all clean for me to go with. So yeah, I don't think I can remember. I haven't really followed up anything for Nigeria, so I really don't have much regarding what is trending. Yeah.
That's fine.
So
We can go to the main
mm,
discussion then.
yeah, let's go to today's discussion, which is about our Nollywood stars. We've watched, all these people. We grew up with most of them, watching them on the TV and stuff like that. Um,
Absolutely.
a, a guy called you watched. I know you watched it because I saw your commentary about it, which was the one that Egbon was in Ijogbon. Ijogbon.
Ijogmo, okay.
The man that
Yep.
acted, that had this mark, that acted a rich man, that was taking the
Okay,
diamond,
Yemi.
buying.
It's also Yemi Show.
Yemi
Yemi
Shoji,
Show Yemi. No,
Sholola or
no.
Shoyemi
It's
Ojo.
yeah.
Yemi Show
Yemi Show
something.
Lola.
There was something that I read only a few days ago, maybe 2 days ago, about him, and they showed him crying, and he said something about being, acting for the last 40 years. He's still renting, he's still borrowing money to feed his family. The guy said that, and he was actually crying during that interview. That And that got me thinking that what is actually going on. On the other hand, there is a young Nollywood actress, 18-year-old actress that just bought a mansion. only a couple of
Actually,
days ago.
15 years old.
Oh, 15 years
15 years
old.
old.
Sorry, 15 years old.
15.
So,
Yeah, 15.
what is going on? And we're not just talking about the English and Igbo actors and actresses. We're talking about it cut across. So, why is it that the girls are buying mansions, buying Lexus brand new, buying Jeep brand new, buying G Wagon brand new, and the men are kind of, some of the men are wallowing in poverty. What is going on? Where is the imbalance coming from? And that is what we're going to be looking at today. So, the topic of today's show is all about helping Mr. Ibu, who is a comedian who had made us all laugh. But he came out a few days ago on a video asking, begging
Mm,
for help. That if Nigerians
yeah.
don't help him, they're going to cut his leg off and stuff like that. So helping Mr. Ibu and other Nollywood stars in need of financial assistance. It's not just Mr. Ibu. There have been other ones. I can recollect a man called Agbala Gabriel, who has been raising funds for some of these Hollywood actresses and actors, you know. So I think we'll just try and get into this and see how we can break it down. And if there's anyone out there watching us or watching us right now that want to come on to the show, just send us a message and we will get you into the studio to be part of this discussion. I think it's important. So, Mr. Wale Olaito, our, I haven't even said this yet, sorry, our intercontinental moderator.
Yes, now you remember. Yeah, but I'll pardon you because you were wishing and praying for me for my
Yes.
birthday. So, and it's not every day Geo prays for you. So yeah, so prayers have taken enter. So
Yes.
if you just join us, you are on the right place,
Yes.
the right at the right time on our number one show, the Nigeria we want. We're reaching you live from Melbourne, Australia, with production assistance from Lagos, Nigeria. So today we'll be discussing welfare of celebrities in Nigeria with a specific topic, helping Mr. Ibu and other Nollywood stars in need of financial assistance. Courtesy of our producer, Mr. Festus Alabi, I quickly provide a brief introduction to today's topic.
Hmm.
Beyond the glamour, limelight, and razzmatazz, things do get tough for celebrities and stars, such that they go public to beg for assistance at some stages. Nigeria has witnessed cases of veteran actors and stars seeking financial assistance from the public to solve one problem or another, despite the perception that entertainers are super rich. The recent sad reality of such cases is that of a popular actor, Olusegun Akinremi, popularly known as Chief Koron, who recently begged for assistance from the public. Another actor, John Okafor, popularly called Mr. Ibu, is the latest in a long list of celebrities begging for assistance from the public. Mr. Ibu, who has been in and out of hospital since 2019 after alleging that he was poisoned by those envious of his successful career, needs financial assistance to pay for treatment. The comic actor is calling on well meaning Nigerians to come to his rescue as he battles to save one of his legs from being amputated. In a viral video shared on Instagram, Mr. Ibu said he has been down with an undisclosed ailment for weeks and has been on admission. The actor explained that his doctors told him they might resort to amputating his leg after exhausting other options. Other celebrities have reacted to the video and promised help, but the battle to save Mr. Ibu is still on. So, how can Nigerians help Mr. Ibu and others in need of financial assistance like this? So, I go straight to Dr. Vicky. We try to make this very interactive. It's me and Dr. Vicky here tonight, but we've done this many times, and
Many times,
we
yes.
try our best to have a robust discussion. So, Dr. Vicky, how do we cater for celebrities in need of assistance like Mr. Ibu? Let's start from there. How do we as a society
Um,
cater for celebrities in need like Mr.
all
Ibu?
right. Like the thing is, just like you, just like me, just like many others, there should be education around making sure that we have security. And what do I mean by having security? Asking for help doesn't mean people are going to be able to help at that time. But there are things that you can do. When you were reading this script earlier on, there was a point where you read about Mr. Ibu um, uh, saying that he was poisoned because people are jealous of his success. So where has all that money gone? Where has all the successes gone? Or was it was he deceiving himself? Like most of them, I don't know. But my point, what I was trying to say about the security of the future, is having insurance in place. Insurance um is more like a safety net. We don't pray for anything bad to happen. We don't want anything bad to happen. We don't want terminal illness. We don't want cancer. We don't want death. But it happens to people. So, what can we do to make sure that in case something happens, are we covered? How are we going to be looked after? The Nigerians that is begging, and most of them are begging to help them, all of them, they have plans as to, all right, out of 100,000 that I heard, I put 2,000 on my insurance for my car, insurance for my house, insurance for my health, and insurance to do with my life. If anything happens, my family will not go without. If I can make a plan and say, okay, I'm not going to spend everything and I'm not going to go to party and be spraying endlessly. We see them doing that. And then something that happens, they are begging. They're begging you, they're begging me. You that have a plan, you collect your salary, you distribute to where they need to go to ensure that if anything should happen, at least I know the companies to call because I've been putting some money into it. So the question is, it's not sustainable the way they are doing it. There should be better ways. And probably we Nigerians, there's a way we look at all this insurance thing, and I think we'll get to that as we move along. Well, I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Vicky. So for that introductory, kind of statement around the need for people to, um, look for options to look after themselves, to protect, themselves against the raining days. Um, but let's look at it from this angle. So, as you said, that insurance is not really a very popular concept in our part of the world, and that has to do with a lot of factors like how insured are the insurers in terms of even for them to have that sustainability to be able to even support some of their clients in a country where executives of banks disappear with money, with millions of people's savings, and nothing really happens in many cases like that. So and also, if you consider that there has been going through this condition from the introduction since 2019. So he's been in and out of hospital at one stage or the other since 2019. So that is 4 years ago. You think that if no matter the level of savings or anything, if one is going through a serious ailment for about 4 years, I'm sure that will have really dwindled whatever resources that they are. But
Mm,
it's a very topic and that I want us to look at it from both angles. The angle that they we started with is a very clever angle, the angle of trying to look at it from um, there are teachers in Nigeria. There are, common traders, petty traders on the streets in Nigeria. There are people
mm,
doing all sort of things in Nigeria that they don't have that fame to come online to ask for help
mhm,
when things go, south, when they are really
mm.
in trouble. So we try and balance the argument for and against, in the course of this program. So let me move to the next question now. Many celebrities like P Square, Davido, and Obi Kubana have promised to help Mr. Ibu. So this man has been going through this for 4 years. He has been an out of hospitals. I don't know exactly what, whether the video will be Cubana or P Square, whether they've supported him at one stage or the other before now. So the question is, must it come to this stage for people to really come out and help? Must it, come to a stage where a celebrity must actually come out crying for our people to really help? I would think that people within that industry, they must be aware of his condition. Must we actually wait until someone, you know, resort to coming online, begging, crying before we can actually appeal to, that sense of humanity to help someone in need?
Unfortunately, until someone gets to that point, nobody will want to do anything. Those that Agbala Gabriel helped was because they came out. Those that, I mean, there was this guy that tend to act Babalawo. I can't remember his name. You know, he said online that
Like, is
um,
it Fade Yoloro or
not Fade Yoloro. I don't know his name, so I can't even try and remember. Yeah,
yeah,
but this guy was
there are
always
many of them,
acting a
yes.
bad babalawo, conk one. He said he doesn't have a car. He goes on Okada and stuff like that. And somebody bought him a car, a Camry or something like that. So, the short woman that acts like she normally acts, a role mostly is like a witch in most of the films. She was trying to build a house and she was living in an uncompleted building or something like that. Nigerians, because she came out, she talked, and everybody can see that until you get to the point that they can see your genuineness. Nobody is going to help you. And we see these people on TV, and then there's this assumption that, and all right, there's this assumption that we see them a lot, that they get paid a lot, that they are wealthy. That's one assumption. And what is feeding into the assumption on the other side is when you now see someone having a party, one of them having a big party, and then you see them spraying, like as if they are just turning a tap of water. You see them spraying, you see Bombrisky, you see all these people spraying, like, so that is feeding into it until you now see somebody begging. Ah, is that really true that they are struggling? Okay, let's help. And because it's now working, so we'll see more of it coming out. We'll see more of them asking. But
Thank
where
you,
I'm
Dr.
really
Vicky.
struggling is I'm struggling with the imbalance of it all. I'm
Yeah, yeah, and
actually,
and that's what we really
I
want
think,
to unpack. We really want to unpack
yes.
this. That's what we really want to unpack,
Mm,
on the show. We're not, you know, we're not trying to make any moral arguments here. We know that people genuinely do fall through, hard times. People go through tough times, for things outside their own makings, or for things, completely out of their control. And that is life. Life throws things at people, and at every stage, you never know how you're going to react. You
mm,
genuinely never know how you're going to react until life
uh-huh,
puts you in certain conditions. And so,
mm,
and I think it's just that delicate balance as adults, and no matter how things are going on for you today, smoothly and everything, where you and I, we live in this country. We've read stories about people that have money. We're not talking about people having 1 million naira, 10 million. We're talking about people having 1 million naira, 10 million. We are talking about people that never taste anything like poverty, or they will never get broke. And you see them going
mm,
broke, like going broke, like even not just going broke, like even what's this, particular, this, like completely going bankrupt. That is even have. So,
exactly.
realizing
Mm,
this and knowing that life could be a very, very funny place, you just try to balance it up. But at the same time, we still want to really have the honest conversation that I think about when I see most of these cases, and those things that
mm,
goes through your mind or any other person's mind. We're trying to have that balanced discussion. Talking about that, my next question has to do with, many have argued that celebrities and superstars always forget to save for the raining days after living flamboyant lifestyles. Is this really a problem? You made comments around that earlier. Is this the problem? Is it the problem around people trying to, live up to people's hypes and
expectations,
expectations?
yeah. Mm,
Someone that knows that ordinarily the amount of money he makes or she makes, she can only afford a two-bedroom face and face, face me and face you, apartment or flat somewhere in Alagbado. And this person is trying so hard to impress people, decides to go and rent somewhere in Lekki or Ajah or most of these other cool areas. Is this part of the problem? And we're talking about celebrities in general, not only Nollywood actors, but we're talking about people within that entertainment industry, that they want to act what they act in movies. They want to act that in real life. Is that part of the
mhm.
problem, Dr. Vicky? How do
I
they
believe, I believe it is.
how do they really live their lives without catering
Mm,
for the rainy?
I believe it is. It is wanting to catch up with the Joneses. It's wanting to show off that I've arrived, even though majority of them haven't really. Even though they're still struggling. Even though um, you know, acting, singing, all that they are skills. And when you have a contract, you have a show now, a program now, or a film now, you never know when it's going to come next. You know what I mean? So if
Mm,
something happens and then you can't act, but you already, the acting that you've just done, that you collected 10 million naira for, you are going to a party, you are blowing it. The ashwebi, when we people like us do party and we are doing ashwebi of 10,000 naira, they are doing ashwebi of 300,000, and it's category by category. So they say, okay, the minimum is 300,000, the next one to that is 500, and then 750,000. One ashwebi, 750,000 naira. And just because you want to belong, you go to the highest one. So you show it off for that day, and then that
Mhm.
is it. Meanwhile, you just collected 10 million. Meanwhile, you don't know when next you're gonna act. You don't know. Same thing with music. They sing, they do this. The reason why they go back to drugs, or why they use drug, is to stimulate that area in their brain that is active, that is going to help them to generate something new, to be able to match, not even match, to beat what they've done before, what they produced before. That's usually the case. And then before you know it, they get stuck in drugs. Or if they're not using drugs, they are not able to match the previous one. You know what I mean? So these are skills. These are
Absolutely.
they're not something that you can really, really control. So it's a matter of this that I have right now. How can I make it go long or longer? What can I do? What can I use it for? Rather than blow it, rather than show off to people that really don't care, rather than trying to catch up with the Joneses and want people to see you as somebody that you're not. What can I do? What can I do differently? Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Vicky. And I think we've made reference to this previously, on this show, around just people's expectations. And I think there's a comparison here, comparison of celebrities in Nigeria and people in diaspora. There's
Mm,
something to compare here. Like once people cross to diaspora, even though 6 months ago it was this an average person, majority starts to act as if they've arrived, even from
mm,
just crossing over to UK, Australia, Canada. They start acting as if they've arrived. Whereas this person is still even struggling. Perhaps this person maybe hasn't even been able to rent a flat of his own. He's still
mm.
probably sharing a flat with
Sharing.
father or whatever.
Mm,
But they already given this impression back home that is arrived and the accent has changed. And that's the expectation from people, and people wants to keep up with that expectation. And then, if you're showing
mm.
people that you are wealthy or everything is okay, and they are within your friendship or family kind of circle, they will come to you when they need help. And I think that's part of the
Exactly.
problems. Like even within the celebrity, within actors, there are classes, there are grades, there are A-list
Mm.
actors,
Actors,
that they get
yes.
big roles in movies.
Mm,
I've just seen one of the Egbons, one of ours, Egbon Yemi Shodimo, he acted in Ijogbon.
mm.
We are not advertising for Kunle. I don't know him personally, so I'm not advertising for him. But I'll just promoting one of our own here, Mr. Yemi Shodimo. He acted as
As a
his
principal.
principal in that movie. As a principal, the principal like very very big grammar, in a small village, and it was a good acting, good storyline, and everything. Yeah,
Mm,
so I enjoyed that. So in that level, in that movie, you made reference to his other friend, Mr. Yemi Sho Lade.
mm.
He also acted well. But there are other people
Really
within
well.
that same movie that you only see them in those movies and entertainment and everything. So because of that, some people might make in their acting career, some people might make up to one billion naira if they save over 20 or 30 years. Some people will be
Mm.
lucky to make 10 million over that same period of time because of the roles
Exactly.
ascribed to them and their
Mm,
popularity and all other factors. So, and I think that's just one of the important points. People to be, as you said earlier, to be true to themselves. Like one of the things I tell to my friends when they like talking about money, everything, I say, I'm a civil servant, and that is the truth. I'm a civil servant. I work with the government. That is my career in different areas, but I'm a civil servant. period.
Mm.
And civil servants are not paid to become multi-millionaires
Millionaire.
anyway. You do your
Mm.
service, you do whatever you
You
want
get
to
paid
earn.
your
If you're
salary.
smart, you might
Mm.
put your money. Don't put any pressure on me. I'm just a civil servant paid in dollars. That's the difference. What I'm going to do. So don't put this unnecessary pressure on me. I will help, when I'm in a position to help. That's what life is
Mm.
all about, to help when you can. But don't create this illusion about yourself and make people think, you've arrived and you're living in millions. Because if you create that, people will come into you and
They will
asking you
come.
for help all the time.
Exactly.
And I think that's part of the problem. Like maybe some of the actors, they just live to the hype without being honest with themselves and being, honest to people, with people around them. So we move on
Mm.
now. Some people have also blamed those seeking for public help on LV rivalry, as colleagues can help themselves before going public, like thinking that within their Nollywood and music industry that they can actually help themselves. But most of the people that are supposed to help themselves, they are rivals. So it's not easy for even someone to really reach out to whoever they perceive as rivals
Ever to
to
ask for
help
help.
them. And on the other
Mm.
hand, if you perceive me as a rival, will you go out of your way to help me if I'm having a hard time? So how can we really have this within our culture? How can we really address that? Like, look, depending on rivalry, when it is the issue about life and death, like someone is going through very difficult health situations, how can
Mm.
we still appeal to that common sense of humanity and still be able to help one another? How can we promote that within our cultural setting and within our religious setting? Dr.
Yeah.
Vicky.
Even seeing, yeah, even seeing each other as a rival is something that I it's not palatable for me at all. Um, why would you look at somebody else who is a colleague as a rival? Rival for what? You know, as a movie is coming out, you're being picked for that movie to be the main actor, and this person is doing another role. And if you're not the main actor in this one, you can be the main actor for the next one. Why looking at each other as a rival? That is something that I really, because I've come to this understanding that whatever you're doing, collaborating with others is what can help you to grow, that what can help you to do things better. What I'm not good at, the others can be good at it and we can work together. What they're not good at, they can call on to me to do it. But when we see each other as rival, it's a lose-lose kind of situation for everybody concerned. Now, it's quite unfortunate that we get to the point whereby maybe the person passes away and then we start feeling bad and start feeling emotional. But when that person is still alive and is asking for help, or even if he doesn't ask for it, the fact that we can see that this person is in need of help, what is stopping us from helping the person? What is? Sometimes the fact that they they can't many factors do come to play, but it's quite interesting that people that you work with, that person isn't okay, and you don't care. You don't care. You don't see that you are to help. Because the position you're in today, it's not because you're better than this person. It's not because you are a better person than the person. It's not that you have the power to continue to be healthy. This person is just unfortunate. So if you can lift a finger, what is stopping you?
Mm,
What is stopping you? The the thing within us, that ego, that mindset of us being rival and stuff, that shouldn't stop us from lifting a finger to help somebody. That shouldn't stop us from wanting to lift somebody who is already down, to lift the person up. That shouldn't stop us, even if I can't help. That shouldn't stop me from calling on to other people. You know what? I'm really, really rich at this time, but this person needs help. What can we do to help? I can't afford much, but I can do some legwork. I can make some phone calls. I can call others. Why not? If not because wickedness is what is stopping most.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Vicky. So you've made some very valid points, and just buttress some of the points you've made that we need to help. The world is all about collaboration and working together. You learn more by collaborating. You open doors of friendship. You and I are a good example. I've known you for over. I've been here for 19 years, going to 20 years, and
Hmm.
I've known you one way or the other for almost through that period. But
Yeah.
we've never really had much to do together other than casually hello, hello, respectful greetings in social
Hmm.
settings. But I think something brought us together, something that is of interest to me, because I know
Hmm.
I've been invited to some other things that they are not of interest to me. And I'm sure you can even work it out with within
Hmm.
our relationship. There are things that
Hmm.
of interest to me. There are things that are not of interest to me, and I think can you hear me?
Yeah, it's breaking. It's breaking.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's a bit better now. Yep. Mr. Lighton. Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah. You're back now. Yes. Hello? Mr. Lighton. Uh, So we're still talking about Nollywood
Can you hear me
stars and
now?
the need for financial assistance. Yes, I can hear you. Mr. Lighton.
Hello?
Hello. Yes, you're welcome back. Are you still there? Mr. Lighton? Oh, this system. All right. Mr. Lighton, are you there? Okay. So yeah, we're still talking about. Well, he will join us shortly. I think he has to fix the um, connections. So all right, we're still talking about Nollywood stars in need of financial assistance. Um, we've been deliberating as to what is actually going on. Um, there are two ways that we look at it. Some not getting all right, Mr. Lighter is back.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. I don't know. I have to log in through my phone.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
so I don't know what really happened. And look, I won't really I wasted a few times. I was just commenting about collaboration, just to buttress your
Yes.
around the
Mm.
collaborate and the importance of collaboration. And we learn a lot by
We're
collaborating
collaborating, yes.
than having
Mm.
unnecessary rivalry.
Mm.
So just a few points around maybe you mentioned a 15-year-old actor, uh,
Mm.
Adaize Angel Onuigbo. She's 15 years old and she's been acting since she was 3 years old. And she's a brand ambassador and she just built a multi-million naira property. She's 15 years old. So, um, and similar stories with many of the female, celebrities. And so, just is there any lesson for men, in that industry? Is there a lesson for men in that industry, to learn um,
Um,
in terms of financial management? Is this something that is there anything the females are doing better that
yeah,
our men can learn from
they
in
can
terms
learn.
of their lifestyles and in terms of
Mm.
how they spend their money? Is there something they can learn from female, Dr. Vicky?
So, as actors and actresses, they have access to lots of people because they are out there, they are being seen. So they get lots of followership. So the female actresses, some of those female actresses that are doing well, you mentioned this Adaize, who is also a brand ambassador. She's not just an actor. So the acting will bring some money, but all their money is not just from acting. They try and divert their attention to other things to add on top of the acting. So they use their let me just use this as a way to explain this. As a fisherman, okay, you go to the stream with your net, you cast your net, okay, you catch a lot of fishes. Same thing with these actresses. They use the acting as a way to get people to see them, to know them. And when companies are looking for brand ambassador, they're looking for someone who is out there, someone that is well known. So when they sign the contract as brand ambassador, that's multi-million dollar deal. So the acting may bring in 2 million. Then as brand ambassador on top of it, that's another. All right. And they can be brand ambassador for not just one, not just two, for as many as they can. They can advertise for other people and make money from doing that. So male actors, what do? They are actors, they are actors. They are not, they are not diversifying. You diversify. That's how you can grow your wealth. You don't stick with one. We see you, you act, we enjoy it, we move on. But how much comes from that? And, and are you trying to even make more? Someone like um Toyin's husband, Kola Wole something. Kola Wole, yes, he's doing his acting, but this guy is also into fashion. He's also into making shoes. I'm guessing that other people are making those shoes, but he's putting his stamp on it. They are his own design. Maybe those people are designing it, putting his name on it, but he's got it. So he's got shops not just in Nigeria, he's got shops in UK, in the United Kingdom. So money is coming from acting, but not as much as other areas. That is diversifying. That is what most male actors are now doing off.
Thank you, Dr. Vicky. But some are more cynical, around the disparity between the females and the males in that industry. Um, Without sounding like like someone that is biased, we're just trying to balance the arguments here. one of the arguments is that the females in that industry, they get more opportunities than the males, especially as you mentioned around branding and being a brand ambassador and all other some other juicy opportunities outside acting, that it tends to be more at an advantage to females than males. Is there any element of truth in that? And if there is, how can we really
There may
try?
be, there may be, but there are others. Egbon is one of them. Egbon has a company whereby they make the what do you call palm wine. They make it
Yeah.
into bottles and they export, they sell it within Nigeria and stuff like that. And I know how I even met Egbo for the first time was I met him in the shop, and I went to him, I introduced myself, and I asked him to be an MC at an event that I was running in Nigeria at the time. And yes, Egbo charged me for his appearance. You know what I mean? So there are ways that, being out there, not just focusing on acting, being out there and being able to say, okay, I'm also, apart from acting, I I also MC, I also do this, I also do that. Before you know it, people will be calling you. I know that Egbon, apart from his acting, is MCing for many, many events, many, many parties, many, many people. Um, you've got to. You can't just stick to one. You can't just stick to one way of bringing money in. You need to. That's why you have managers. That's why they do have managers. When I was trying to talk to Egbon, that money is too much, oh, blah, blah, blah. Egbon said, I have a manager. Oh, my manager will not be happy with me if I collect anything, lesser than what what we agreed I should be collecting for gigs like that. See, it's just stepping out, stepping out and doing it in a way that you get people to understand that yes, I'm an actor, but you use that because that's a big platform. You are getting a lot of people at the same time, getting to know you, getting to see you, getting to follow you. There are many, many other things that you can do. You might not be able to do it like the girls. The girls, some of them, they're selling jewelries. That's the main thing they do. We have somebody like Jaye Kuti, who is into fashion. She will wear them, she will dance with it, she will show off for people to come and buy. They put extra work into all these things to bring that money in, even than their acting. We've seen some of them doing that. Yeah, this woman, Madam Shaje, she's into all this soap, the whitening soap and stuff like that. And she talks about it, she put it out there. She's always using it and showing people this is it. Oh, this is when I'm really, really black. I put it on. Look at me now. So that people can buy. They are not just sticking to acting alone. They are looking for ways to bring money in. They are becoming ambassadors for little, little. Men can also do it. There are, why is someone like Kolawole something? You see him wearing his own clothes. You can see the logo on those clothes there to show off to people that me, I have this, I'm selling this. So when you're thinking, come and patronize me, men can also do it. They just
Yeah.
need to get out, get up, and start thinking outside the box.
Thank you, Dr. Vicky. So, if you just joined us, we're on the last leg of discussions around welfare of celebrities in Nigeria, especially in Nollywood, actors and some of their challenges in recent times. Another interesting observation on my part is what appears to be like a blackmail of the industry. In some cases, when some of the people, when they are in need, when they come out, we've said earlier that people do go through difficult times and they ask for help. That's what life is all about. But sometimes the language, tends to blackmail their colleagues. and I do have issue with that kind of language, language that is in a way blackmailing other people that are doing well, or the general public, the sentiment from the public around that. When people come out and say you are buying a 10 million or 20 or 200 million property somewhere, someone is having issues, it's one of your colleagues, you can't help him out. And then that general sentiment, and you see some of those people you need also, using that kind of, language in a way to blackmail some of their colleagues as if people are not really ready to help. Um, I think as a society, we have to balance that up, and people, as difficult as it is, need to take responsibilities for their own actions as well. The fact
Mm.
that you're going through difficult times doesn't mean that the person that has worked very
Out
hard
with
for
that money.
money or for our
Mm.
money shouldn't be able to invest that money and enjoy that money. Perhaps when you're using your money for other important things, what you consider to be important, that
Mm.
person was probably investing his money in other areas that is now bringing all this benefit to him or her. I think we need to really balance that, because
Mm.
this popular actor and lawyer, Kanayo, he
Yes.
he was commenting on this, Mr. And he was calling people, cloud chasers,
Mm.
made reference to people as cloud chasers that are just taking the advantage of Mr. Ibu just to popularize their own brands and to gain more traction online
Action.
rather than
Mm.
genuinely supporting uh,
Mm.
Mr. Ibu and other, artists having issues. So, what is your take on that in terms of the level of responsibility and sometimes the language around that general blackmail of their colleagues or the industry? I do really have issues with that when people use those languages in a way that is judgmental and blackmailing others.
When people are desperate, they say things. They say things because they just want the help at all costs. So they don't care how other people feel. They don't care what they think, and they just say whatever just to get to get people to react to their call for help. And as they have the right to say whatever they want, I also have the right not to hear what you're saying if it's not what I want. And everybody have that right to say, yep, I've made my money, I've worked hard for it, I've helped those that I can help. Now I want to enjoy my money. You can't force me to dig in and help if that's not what I want to do right now. Because I have plans. I've planned, like I said when we first started this show tonight. We plan, we make plans that okay, just in case this happens, just in case this happens, this is what you don't see me going and be spending and be spraying like crazy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And the thing is, those people that are now trying to say things to get people to help them, know that when they are okay and there are other people asking for help, it's not like they if if the shoe is on the other side, it's not like they may be there to help. So the thing is, people have the right to say whatever they want. If that's what they want to say, let them say it. If I'm inclined to help, if I'm inspired to help, yes, I'll help. And if I'm not, nothing will make me, nothing will push me. And I don't feel guilty about whatever they're saying. you know um it's the way we at the end of the day, it's about how will people see me, how will people see me and my colleagues if this person keeps talking about this. So it's still talking about our ego here. The person have the right to say whatever they want to say. Remember, a desperate person can say whatever to be able to appeal to people's conscience. But everybody else listening have the right to say, yep, I'm inspired to help, or you know what, I really don't feel like.
Thank you, Dr. Vicky. So we're discussing Mr. Ibu and other Nollywood celebrities going through tough times. We acknowledge that people go through difficult times for different reasons, and people that really wants to help our viewers, global viewers. We don't have direct link to Mr. Ibu. We don't have his direct link or number, but I'm sure people that genuinely want to help out, they can search for his page, on Facebook or other means of contacting him and his family, and
Mm.
to try their best in their own little way to, to support him. He has entertained us for
For many
decades,
years.
for many
Mm.
years, and is his own time now that we can support him in our own little way. Please feel free to do. We don't have any direct access to him. We just, we're part of the big humanity family, and we hope that
Mm.
whatever way you can assist, reach out to his, to his managers or his family members,
Mm.
and God will bless you as you do so. So,
Yeah.
we go to the last part of the discussion. Some experts have argued that that most of these celebrity do not make much due to the environment in Nigeria, obviously, like the absence of royalties and others, and obviously, there should be need for reforms, to ensure that people that are acting spending 30 years or 40 years of their lives, at least they should get deals and their entitlements, just like every one of us, to be able to live a decent life, especially at a stage in their lives when they don't have the energy to run around and do things. So, how can we as a nation ensure that the labor of our heroes should not be in vain? How can we support actors or people in that creative industry to be able to still live decent lives without resorting to begging in their late in their lives? So, Dr. Vicky, that would be my parting, question, and then you can, close the show, in response to that. Over to you, Dr. Vicky.
Yeah, even though trying to push everything onto government is not the right way to go, but when it comes to our entertainers, they have their role in the scheme of things. There are, I mean, when I've been so busy, I love to have my Nollywood movies on, Yoruba or Igbo or English one. Just sit down there and it relaxes me because I don't have to think. I don't have to. It's like, they're so easy to know what's going to happen next. It's so easy just having it there. They have ways of, when I'm relaxing, you see me watching my movies, Niger movies. Um, they have their roles that they are playing. They are entertainers. That is their job, and that is what they do for us. Now, government, they remember, if you've been watching the news, Hollywood news, they talk about writers, those people writing their script and all that, for theater, for the movies. They've been on strike
A strike. Yep.
because they're not getting paid enough. They have their own association that makes the rules, how much they get, how, what kind of work they do, how many hours they, and if they do overtime, this is how much they get, and things like that. There should be something like that. And with that, everybody make decisions as to, okay, how do we make sure we are protected going forward? There will be times, I mean, if you remember Toluwanile, this old man, um,
Yeah.
Baba
About
Wande,
about one day. Yep.
Wande that acted in Toluwanile, you know how good Baba Wande had always been. I grew up watching him. He had always been a very great actor. But even up until now, over 20 years later, I read something recently that he wasn't paid for his job that he did in Toluwanile. He had this big argument with the was it the producer or the director of Toluwanile film. Things like that shouldn't be happening. In a sane society, there's always that, you know, discussion and contract that we all agree on and we sign on. If anybody should break the contract, what's going to happen? This is going to happen, and it follows through. That's in a sane society. But our society, like everything else, that aspect also needs to be cleaned, to be looked into, and organization to be brought back in, to be brought into it. Because it's not fair for people to do their job of entertaining millions of us, and then in their old age, there's nothing for them. There's absolutely nothing for them. Yes, they need to plan better, because we are forced to pay superannuation here. In Nigeria, they are forced to pay, I'm not sure if they call it superannuation also, but they also do that. And when they retire, there's something called gratuity for them. Actors, there should be, and that is where their association should put their energy into. We're young now, we can work, we can do this. Let's put some money aside for the time when we will need it. I think probably getting the Minister of Cultural Affairs and blah, blah, blah to help them design something, and there should something needs to be done. It's not sustainable what they're doing. Eventually, people will be like, it's not my responsibility. I also have, especially now with situation of things.
Thank you very much, Dr. Vicky. I think we've had a balanced discussion on this. We promote, responsibility about people, and for adults, people still have to take responsibility for their lives. We've equally look at it from that humanitarian angle, and knowing that we are one big village of humanity, and we can support each other one way or the other, and also call for the role of the government to intervene in making that creative industry more sustainable and in a way that will be able to support people to live a decent life when they get to their retirement age, even though they don't have an official retirement age in acting. So thank you so much, Dr. Vicky, and you can close the show for tonight.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Lighton. We've done well. Just the two of us. We've done really well. So I want to say well done to you for great moderation of today's show again. To our viewers watching or maybe watching later, thank you for joining us. We'll be back again next Friday. So before then, you have a great weekend, and we'll catch up next Friday. Take care, Mr. Lighton. God bless.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
Bye.
The Nigeria we want. Great Nigeria. Giant of Africa. Nigeria we want. Great Nigeria. The Nigeria we want. With Vicky Omi Folaji. Yeah, me shorty move. Wale your light on. I can see what shuku. The Nigeria we want. Great Nigeria. On Big Ocean. The Nigeria we want. Great Nigeria. Giant of Africa. The Nigeria we want.